Hi friends, welcome to this video, Math in Focus Singapore Math Student Edition, Course 2A, and we are here with independent practice for 1.4 subtracting integers. Just a quick reminder, make sure that you have seen the video that helps you understand the concepts from this chapter so that this independent practice exercise becomes easier for you and you understand what we are doing here. Okay, so let's begin with the first part, which says evaluate each expression. Okay, so these are simple expressions that we have, 12 expressions over here. We got to solve them, right? So let's begin. 7 minus 18. So we subtract from the larger the smaller number, right? So 8 minus 7 is 11, and we put the sign of the larger number, so that is minus 11. Okay, then it says 20 minus 30. Now we already know the explanation of what we are doing here, right? The same, all these three sums are similar, right? So 109 and 53. So if you put 53 here, so it's 6, 9 minus 3 is 6, right? And then 10 minus 5 is 5. So this is minus 56. Okay, so we did larger minus smaller, and we put the sign of the larger number, which is negative. Now we go to the next one. Here we have this operation, and we need to open up the brackets, right? And just a quick reminder, I know you already know it, but I'm just going to remind you quickly. Plus times plus is plus, minus times minus is minus, minus times, plus, this is minus, this is minus, okay? So 45, and this is minus this one, right? So plus 16, which is equal to 61. Fine. Same here, we have minus 5, and minus becomes plus, right? So now we have integers with opposite signs, different signs, right? So larger minus smaller gives us 2, and the sign of the larger number. Fine. Let's go to the next one, minus 94 as it is, plus 68, right? Which is equal to 26, but a minus sign, larger number sign. Okay, now here all the numbers are negative, right? Minus 8, minus 6, minus 8, minus 12. So let's add all of them. 6 plus 8 is 14. 14 plus 12 is 26, and we put minus sign, right? Because all of them are negative number. Okay, again the same situation, all of them are negative here, right? So 23 plus 17 gives us 40, right? 23 plus 7 would be 30, right? And then this is 17, not 7, so we add one more time 10 to it, right? So 23 plus 17 gives us 40, and 40 plus 7 is 47 with a minus sign over here. Okay, let's move to the next one here, which is minus 8 as it is, and this is minus times minus, right? So it becomes plus 4, and this is minus 5. Okay, so minus 8 plus 4 will be minus 4, minus 5 we'll write as it is here, so this gives us 9, and with a minus sign over it. Okay, so this is the answer here. We go to the next one. They are the same kinds here again. Minus 5, right? Minus becomes plus 10, and this is minus 6. Okay, which is equal to 6 and 5 has the same sign, right? Minus sign. So we add them. 5 and 6 gives us 11, and that is minus 11. And this is plus 10, which is equal to minus 1. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is quite simple to do, right? So next one is minus 20 as it is. Minus becomes plus 16. And this also minus becomes plus 7. Okay, so this is minus 20. 16 plus 7 gives us 23, right? And this is plus sign. Different signs. So larger minus smaller is 3, and the sign of the larger is plus. So this is plus 3. Okay, and here comes the final one. Minus 11 minus minus becomes plus 8. Again, this becomes plus 14, right? So which is equal to minus 11. 8 plus 14 is 22, right? Different signs, larger minus smaller is 11. 22 minus 11 is 11, right? And the sign of the larger one, which is positive. Okay, so these are simple, straightforward 12 questions that you had here. Just have your concepts in place and you can solve them easily, right? The next concept that we had here was finding the distance between each pair of the integers. So either we had different options, right? You could do it on a number line or you could do using the absolute values. Now here we'll do it using the absolute value method. Okay, if you want, you can do on the number line also. I'll do one on the number line for a quick revision, but otherwise I'm doing here using absolute values. So we will write this as 4. We are finding distance, right? So we'll put in absolute value format. 4 minus 20, right? You subtract, okay? So 4 minus 20, which is absolute value of 16, which is equal to 16. Okay, so that's a simple one here. Look, these numbers are very big, so doing on a number line becomes a lot. This could be done easily because the difference is not a lot, but all these numbers are too big to be done on a number line. Okay, so let's just follow the absolute value method here. Then the next one is 16 and 52. So 16 minus 52, right? The absolute value, which is equal to minus 36, right? 36 plus 16 will give us 52. So that is equal to 36. So basically you're finding the distance between the two integers, right? Then is minus 15. Okay, then you minus the second one. So this is how you will write, because this is minus number, right? So we have to take the sign as well. Okay, so minus 15 minus 36, which is equal to, now we will be adding it, right? Because they are both negative. So we add it and we get 51 and we put the negative sign here. Okay, which eventually becomes positive because we're just finding the distance, and distance is never negative, and that's why we have this absolute value method here. Okay, then comes the next one, minus 7, and this is minus 41, right? Which is equal to, how much is this? 41 and 7 gives us 48, right? Same signs. So we added and we put the negative sign. Absolute value of minus 48 is also 48, right? Then we have the next one, minus 28, right? We put minus 28 as it is, minus, we have to subtract the number, right? And this is now not 3, this is minus 3. So this is how we will write it. We have to ensure that we are taking the signs as well, right? So which is equal to minus 28, this minus minus, minus times minus, right, becomes plus. So this is plus 3. Okay, so which is equal to minus 25, and this becomes 25. Okay, so this is how we do. So be careful with the signs of the number, positive, negative. To find distance, we are subtracting always. Okay, and then the next one, minus 19, we subtract, right? And then the next number is minus 8, right? So this becomes minus 19 plus 8, yes, which is equal to minus 11, absolute value of minus 11, which is 11. So that is it. It was quite simple, right? You subtract one number from the other, and that's how you find the distance. Only thing you need to be careful of is the signs of each number. And that's how we are already done with the 18 sums from this independent practice. Wasn't that fast? It is, right? Okay, let's go to the next one, which is a word problem, real world problem. As we said during the other video, during the concept videos, that those problems will be done directly here. We did not do any of them while doing the concepts, right? And because it's all application of all this. It's just reading the question, getting the right equation. Okay, so let's get started. Ryan lives to go skiing in Burlington, Vermont when the temperature is -4 degrees. The temperature drops 10 degrees. Okay, it is dropping. It is going down. Okay, when a cold front moves in, what is the new temperature? So let's say the initial temperature, right? So as I said, it's always good to write your statements. That helps you. Okay, so initial temperature equals to -4 degrees centigrade, right? Then we have the temperature drops. Okay, so drop in temperature. That's my next one here. Drop in temperature. So I will say -10 degrees again, right? Because it's drop, so it's minus. Okay. Now what are we asked? New temperature. Therefore, right? Remember, this is a sign of therefore. Therefore, new temperature equals to -4. That's the old temperature you will write. You will add, and the drop will come here, right, which is -10. This was the initial temperature. Then there was a change, right? There was a drop. So the new temperature has to be both, right? You add them. So this becomes -4 plus times minus, right? Plus times minus is -10, right? Both are negative numbers, so we add and we put the negative sign, right? So this is the answer. Wasn't that simple? As I said before, read the question, understand it, start putting your information here so that you have the right information then collected properly. So that helps you solve your questions easily. Let's go to the next one. It says, the water level of the Dead Sea dropped, okay, it dropped from 390 meters below sea level. Okay, so it is -390, right? Then it dropped to 423 meters below sea level, so it is going to 423 minus now, right? So initially it was here. This is the new one. Okay, so you can write your statements here, and then by how much did the water level drop from this to this? So what are we asked? We are told that initially this is the level, right? 390 below sea level, so it is -390 meters, and then in 1930 it is by 2010 it becomes 423 minus, okay, below sea level, right, meters. So basically, if you understand this, the sum is nothing but this one, finding the distance basically, okay? So you are here at 390 and then you reach here. This is where it is reaching. So basically it is finding the distance kind of a sum, right? So let's put them in the absolute value format, right? So we were at -390 first, right? Okay, then we say we always subtract. And then the next number, right? So the next number is -423. Okay, we need to understand this minus will also come here. This and this are different minuses, right? This is the operational, this is the minus for the number. Okay, so this becomes -390 plus, this will be plus now, right? Minus becomes plus 423. Okay, so which is equal to the absolute value of, how much is this? Can you tell me orally? This is 23, 423, and this is 390, right? So 390 plus 10 gives us 400, right? And then 400 to 423 is more 23. Okay, so this is 33. This is plus 33, right? Because this is a larger number, which is equal to 33. So the drop has been of 33 meters, okay? From 390 to 423 it has gone, right? So the drop has been of 33 meters. Remember to put your units well, Okay, you had units here, so you have to have your units in your final answer. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's move to the next one. It says Miss Davis has only $420 in her bank account. Describe how to find the amount in her account after she writes a check for $590. Okay, so she has how much? $420, and she's writing a check for $590. She's writing a check for more money than she has in her account. Never do that. You are penalized for that. Okay, so it says describe how to find the amount in her bank account. So after she writes this check, how do we know? How do we find what is the amount in her bank account, right? So what are we going to do? We're basically finding the difference, right? So her amount was 420 initially, right? And she writes a check of 590. So you're taking out that, right? Okay, so you basically have to subtract 590, what you are taking out, from what was in the bank. That's how it says describe, right? So you don't have to solve, but you have to describe. So you're going to say you got to minus the amount that she's taking out from her account from the amount she had in her account, and therefore $420 minus $590, which is equal to minus $170. So this is a negative balance. Okay, so this is how you solve this kind of sums. I hope you are comfortable. The word problems are not difficult, they're simple. It's just understanding. Okay, then it says Kevin has trouble simplifying this. Write an explanation to tell him. Okay, so we're not expected to solve. We just have to write the explanation. So what are we going to tell? What are we going to write here? What do you think? We have to help Kevin, right? So what is he supposed to do first? First, he has to resolve this thing, right? Open the brackets. And he needs to know that minus times minus gives us plus, right? So we advise him to first simplify the equation. He should open up the bracket. So he should write 15 and minus times minus, which gives us plus. So he should write plus 36, right? Then what is he supposed to do? Now the numbers have the same sign. So you simply add both the numbers, right? Which is 51. And the sign will be positive. So this is what you're supposed to do. I expect you to write your explanation. Okay, I'm talking here. I'm not writing the whole explanation, but I just explained. And I said it well so that you can write it down. Okay, next one. The lowest point in North America is in Death Valley, California, which is 86 meters below sea level. Okay, at its lowest point. The highest point is Denali, a mountain in Alaska with an elevation of 6198 meters above sea level. Below, so this is minus, and this is above, so this is plus. What is the difference between their elevations? So it's like you are here at minus 86, and then this is below sea level, right? Then you go until 6198 here, right? So what is the distance between the, that's what they're asking you here. When you have this kind of questions, try and put things like this, okay? Pictorial ways helps you, okay? So represent it, get it clear, may understand it, and start solving. So to find, what do we do distance? We always use the absolute value, right? So absolute, first we will have minus 86 because it is below sea level, right? And then we always have a minus sign, we subtract. What are we going to subtract? 6198, but this is above sea level, so it's 6198. There is no negative sign, okay, which is equal to, now both are negative numbers, right? So we will add it, 6 plus 8. So I'm just writing it here for your understanding, right? 6 plus 8 gives us 14. 4, 1 carried forward, right? 1 plus 9 is 10, 10 plus 8 is 18, right? So I write 8 here, 1 over here, 1 plus 1 is 2, 6 is here, and this is a minus sign here, right? Because both are negative numbers. And this becomes 6284, okay? So this is the distance, the difference between their elevations. And our unit is, what is our unit here? Meters. So your final statement would be the difference between their elevations is 6284 meters. Okay, it's simple, right? Let's go to the next one. Miss Scott has 2 freezers. Okay. Freezer A keeps frozen foods at a temperature of minus 20 degree Fahrenheit, while freezer B keeps frozen foods at a temperature of minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit. She transferred a package of frozen food from one freezer to the other. Why did she do that? She does that and we have to solve her problem. Never mind, we will help her. So what is the temperature difference between 2 freezers? So whenever you ask this kind of differences, you know it's the absolute value that you have to get into solving like this, right? So what is the first one here? Minus 20. You subtract the next one, which is minus 4, right? Which is equal to minus 20 plus 4, right? Now I'm going a little fast because you know what you have to do. This is minus 16, which is 16 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the difference. Okay, right? 4 and 20, you know that is a 16, right? So you confirm your answer that way. Nothing problematic here. It's simple. Okay, then it says if the temperature of the package rises after the transfer, the temperature is rising. Okay, so you know from lower negative it goes to higher negative, right? What does that mean? What am I trying to do here? Lower negative is not 4 here. Lower negative is 20, okay? And this is 4 here, okay? Am I doing it right? Yes, right? You remember the negative numbers, right? This thing changes. Okay. So if the temperature of the package rises after the transfer, from which freezer was the package taken? Okay? So what are we supposed to do here? A has minus 20, right? And B has minus 4. Now, which is a smaller number here? Tell me, minus 20 or 4? If it was no negative sign, we know 4 was smaller, right? But we have negative sign. The smaller number here is 20 and not 4, right? On the number line, you know, like if it's 0 here, minus 4 is here, and minus 20 somewhere here, right? So it's further away, so it's smaller here, okay? This way the number becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Okay, so minus 20 is less than minus 4. So it says if the temperature of the package rises, it is rising, okay? Higher value, right? It's rising. From which freezer was the package taken? So we know it went from A to B. The temperature is rising now. It was minus 20, it has come to minus 4. Okay, so this is how you solve this one. Then the next one says, you and a friend are playing a video game. Lots of video game examples, huh? Your score so far is 340. Not bad. And your friend's score is minus 220. You play better than your friend. Do you really? Do you have those competitions? Sometimes have competition to solve maths problems too. And let's then know the score. I'm sure these videos will help you score better, okay? What is the difference between your scores? You just have to find the difference. And whenever you have that difference, you know what you're supposed to do, right? What are you doing here? 340 minus 220, right? Which is equal to 340 plus 220, right? Which is equal to 560. So the difference is of 560 points. right? So it's simple, okay? I've not written statements here, but you can always write your statements. My score equals to this, my friend's score equal to this. Therefore, the difference between the scores is, and then you start solving this way. 560 points. Remember always your units. Okay, so here we are done with this page as well. And now finally, we are here on the last page, which has 4 more questions for us to solve. So let's begin with the 26th one, which says, to record low monthly temperatures for Anchorage, Alaska are minus 34 degrees Fahrenheit in January and 31 degrees Fahrenheit in August. This is minus, this is plus. Find the difference. What are we supposed to do? All the sums are the same thing. Find the difference, right? Making your life easy, because you know when you have to find the difference, you go for finding the absolute values, right? So minus 34 comes first, then you subtract. What are you subtracting? 31 from here, right? Which is, now both are negative numbers, so you are going to add these two numbers, right? So 34 plus 31 gives us 65, right? 4 plus 1 is 5, so 3 plus 3 is 6, and we put minus sign as both the numbers are negative, which becomes 65 and my units. Isn't that simple? Just find the difference. And we're done. Okay, now it says town X is 120 feet above. Okay, so X is, let's write the data here. X is 120 feet. Okay, then Y is 25 feet below. So we are going to put minus sign, right? 25 feet below. Then it says X is 30 feet below. Sorry, that's Z. Z is 30 feet below. So that's minus, right? X is positive, the other two are negative. This is above and these are below sea level. Okay? Now, you have 4 sub-questions here. How high is town X above town Y? So first you have to compare X and Y. Again, it's a matter of finding the distance, right? The difference. So 120 minus, so we get X minus Y, right? And minus 25 here. Okay, so this is 120 plus 25 basically, right? Right? Minus has become plus. So which is equal to 145, and this is 145 feet. So that's the, how high is X above? So this height is 145 feet. Town X is 145 feet above town Y. Okay, that should be a final statement over here. Then town Y above town Z. So again the same thing. We put here, town Y is how much? Minus 25, right? And then we put a minus sign. Then town Z is minus 30, right? So we put minus 30, which is equal to minus 25. This becomes plus, right? Minus. Okay, which is equal to 5. So this is 5 feet. And you can see from here, right? Minus 25 and minus 30. So this is 5 feet above. So this is what you're writing here. A simple quick cross check. Okay, so town Y is 5 feet above town Z. Now town X and town Z, the last one. Let me just change the color. Okay, then town X is 120 feet, right? So plus 120 feet, then minus town Z, which is minus 30, right? So this is equal to 120 minus times minus becomes plus, right? So this is equal to 150, right? So this is 150 feet, right? And you can see here this is plus 120 and this is minus 30, right? So this is 30 below 0, right? So 30 here and 120 here. So you add it, you get 150. So that's the difference here. Pretty simple, straightforward. Okay, so you have to use your logic, do this quick smart math on side to ensure that your answer is correct. Okay, now it says find this and this and see whether they both are equal or not. What do you think? You want to try yourself? You can pause the video, try and see whether you're getting it or not. Okay, so 8 minus 12, this is absolute value, right? So this will be 8 minus 12 is minus 4, right? Larger minus smaller, and the sign of the larger, this is minus 4. Absolute value, which is equal to 4. Okay, so let's see this one. This is absolute value of 8 is 8, right? Minus sign will come here as it is. Then absolute value of 12 is 12. So 8 minus 12 is 4, and we put the sign of the larger number. This is 4. So this gives 4, and this gives minus 4. So are they same? Of course they are not, right? Because here the entire operation was done within the absolute value. So answer is positive at the end, right? Absolute value. Here the values individually were absolute values, whereas the operation wasn't part of the whole process. So that's why you have the minus sign here. Okay, the second one is the same type of a sum that we have. So 12 minus 8, right, which is 4. Absolute value of 4, which is equal to 4. Okay, then here we have absolute value of 12 is 12, right, and then minus sign as it is, and absolute value of 8 is 8, right, which is equal to 4. So here in both the cases answers are same. Okay, it depends upon the numbers, right? So yes, they are same, right? Because here when you're doing the entire thing within the absolute value format, it doesn't matter whether you're subtracting larger from the smaller, or whether the larger is positive or negative, or the smaller is positive or negative. It doesn't matter as such, right? But here it mattered because, see, it's the same. Here it's 8 minus 12, 12 minus 8, and that's why my previous explanation, what I said, okay? Here it's absolute value of 8 minus absolute value of 12, and here you reversed it. As you reversed here, you're reversing here. But the answer is also changing here, because here you're subtracting from the larger one, right? So that makes a difference, okay? So now the third part of the question. Jake thinks that to find the distance between two integers m and n, he can write this or this. Use your answer in A and B to explain why you agree or disagree. So what do you think? First of all, tell me whether you agree or whether you disagree. That's important. And then we get into the explanation, right? So we are not talking about this part. This is individual. Okay, this is this format. Okay, so can he do that? When you saw just 8 and 12, and this is 12 and 8, right? Reversed. The answers were not the same. So can he do that? No, he can't. And the explanation would be as we just discussed, okay? Because we are doing the operation outside the absolute value, right? We're taking the absolute value of the numbers, and therefore finally when the numbers are not same in the same order, the answer changes, okay? So if the larger number is negative, the answer is going to be negative. The larger number is positive, then it's going to be positive, right? So this is what you got to write here, okay? And I'm sure you can manage that in your own words. As we just discussed, it should be easy for you to write that. Now it says use the data in the following table. Which two gases have boiling points that are closest in value? Explain. Okay, you know, once I was doing this with one of my students, and he said, what is science doing here? Okay, because we're talking about these gases that we study in chemistry, right? Okay, so all the subjects are interconnected. You use maths in science, you use science in math, you use history in math, you use math in history. It's all interconnected. Okay, so let's get going with this. So first we will find oxygen and hydrogen. Let's do that. Okay, and we are going to do absolute value, right? So oxygen is minus 297 minus hydrogen is minus 423. Okay, so which is equal to minus 297 plus 423. Okay, so you can do your calculations here, the rough calculations. 423 minus 297, right? Okay, so we do this here, right? 13 minus 7 is now 6. Then we cut this and we get 1 here, so 11 minus 9 is 2 and 3 minus 2 is 1. So this is absolute value of 126, which is 126. Okay, so this between these two it is 126. Fine. Let's go to the next one, hydrogen and nitrogen. So we do hydrogen and nitrogen now. Okay, so hydrogen is minus 423. We put minus sign. The nitrogen is minus 321. Right? So this is equal to minus 423, and this becomes plus, right? Minus times minus. Okay, this should be done orally. You can do this. 21 and 23, right? So difference is 2, and then this 300 and 400. So this is minus 102. You understood what I did? 321, right? So forget this 100's value. Okay, so 23 and 22, right? So the difference is 2, and then 400, then we forget this. So this is forget in the sense, consider this as 400 and 300. So the difference is 100, so it's minus 102, which is equal to 102. Okay, so these two is 102. So we did hydrogen with nitrogen. Now we already did oxygen and hydrogen. What we still don't have is oxygen and nitrogen, which is equal to oxygen is 297 minus, right? And then you minus it, nitrogen minus 321, right? Which is equal to minus 297 plus 321. Okay, when this you can do orally, right? 97, 297. So 3 will make it 300, right? And then 21. So you add it. So it's 24, right? And it's going to be positive. So this is 24 finally. Okay, so oxygen and nitrogen is 24. So what are we supposed to do now? Which two gases have boiling points that are closest in value? Okay, so you can see the closest is of all the three answers that we have, like 126, 102, and 24. 24 is the smallest, right? So oxygen and nitrogen have the closest boiling points, and that's explained, right? So you first do all this, because if you look at the data also, if you're smart enough, I'm sure which you are, you can get your answer directly here, right? 297 and 321, of course they are closer, right? And this is quite a huge difference. Even this is a huge difference. Looking at this, you can figure it out. So you have to do all these calculations, find the distance between each, difference between each, like two combination, and then whichever has the lowest difference, you take that, because we are asking to have the boiling points closest. If it was furthest, then this would have been the answer, right? Okay, so this is what you have to do. So if you looked at this, all these problems, real world problems, mostly they were all of these categories, right? Finding the difference. So this has to be very clear to you. Okay, so you write the first number, minus it, and then the next number. So if the first number is positive, I'll use my pencil to write here. Okay, so whatever it is, you write the first number, right, minus then whatever the second number is. Okay, so this can be either negative or it can be positive. So whatever that number is, and this is how you do. And all your word problems are based on that. Okay, so this is simple 1.4, subtracting integers. We have done all the 29 questions over here, and I'm sure this was easy for you to do it. And I'm sure these videos are helping you. So please don't miss on any other videos that we have regarding all the concepts and the independent practice. Learn, practice, understand from those videos and score well, get your concepts clear, enjoy math. That's important. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.